Live, and you are looking live at Sold Out Giants Stadium, where today the 15-0 New York Giants will be taking on the 0-15 Green Bay Packers. And why the Green Bay Packers 0-15? Because they suck. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? Or anybody watches the replay of this? Thank you so much. You guys are absolutely rock. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you so much. Going to go about 30 minutes, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes here. Anybody got anything you want to say? Just throw it in the chat. Said I'll be here. I check on the chat every so often. So any comments or whatever, I check up on them. Any questions or whatever. So, hard to believe, but the Giants got injury issues. I know, it's shocking. I know. It's only about the 300th year in a row. Giants are leading the league, or I can't say. I don't know. That I don't know. But I know they got a boatload of injuries once again. And it kind of looking like, I think what Dable was talking about was Golladay and Aaron Robinson. Gotta love it. I mean, I feel horrible for both of them and all, but I mean, Robinson played one game, then appendectomy comes back, plays a little bit of another game, boom. This is simply amazing. Absolutely simply amazing. Giants can never catch a break as far as injuries. Simply, we catch a break here or there, but I'm saying just the amount of injuries, absolutely every year, unbelievable. Now, if you just think about it, all right, go to any team out there, okay, and what the Giants have, okay, take the Giants, the top four wide receivers aren't there, okay? So go to any team in the NFL, take out their top four wide receivers, okay, and then couple that up, all right, with their quarterback has to pretty much be a statue, all right, and have them. I mean, I'm sure maybe they can find a way to win a game here or there or something like that. But you go to any team in the NFL, okay, take away their top four wide receivers, and their quarterback can't move in the pocket, all right? And good luck winning the Super Bowl. Not going to happen. Absolutely not going to happen. I mean, simply amazing, right? Simply amazing, right? I mean, Galladay's out, I'm not sure for how long, but then you got Sterling Shepard, obviously he's going season's over with, but I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson, Kadarius Toney, absolutely amazing. And then we got, Daniel Jones does play. I'm sure he won't be as mobile as we'd like him to be because of his ankle, right? This is it's absolutely unbelievable. And it's from Giants Wire. The Giants may have defeated the Bears 20-12 in week 4, but it came at a cost. In excess of 10 players went down injured. And the prognosis on some of them is less than desirable. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. During a Monday afternoon Zoom conference with the team's beat reporters, head coach Dable broke down each in some of more detail, right? He's got Kenny Golladay. Golladay suffered a knee injury in week 4. Dable is not at all optimistic he'll be able to play against the Packers. In fact, he may miss a little more than that. He said, Golladay, we'll see how it goes toward the end of the week. I'd say it doesn't look promising, Dable told reporters on Monday. Daniel Jones exited Sunday's game against the Bears with an ankle injury, but was later forced to return. There's some optimism he'll be able to play. If not, well, I'm going to have like a third-string quarterback in there. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, we played 4 games, and we have no wide receivers, and we might have to play a third-string quarterback in the 5th game of the season. Simply amazing. Daniel is feeling a little bit better today. We'll just see how that goes, Dable said. I think each day we take a look at him. He can throw from the pocket just fine. Obviously, he has another skill set that you can utilize, whether that's move the pocket or zone read. So I'd say the first thing we do is make sure he's healthy as he can be. And if he can do the things we need for him to do for that game plan, then we'll talk about it. If he can't, then he can't. So Tyrod Taylor. Surely after Jones exited Sunday's game, so did Tyrod Taylor. He was later diagnosed with a concussion and remains in protocol. Yeah, he won't be suited up, I don't think, at all for this weekend's game. And we got Mr. Duct Tape, Julian Love. Julian Love exited Sunday's game with what was an unspecified injury, but it seemed like he had a concussion. Okay. Now, he seems to be a little more upbeat about possibly being able to play on Sunday. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. His concussion was a little bit better than Tyrod Taylor's concussion. Then we got Evan Neal. Evan Neal suffered a neck injury against the Bears, but said after the game that he should be fine. Dable concurred. Evan should be okay. So, but it's a neck injury. Then you got Mark Lewinsky. After briefly exiting the game on Sunday, guard Mark Lewinsky, was his ankle, did eventually return. He too is expected to be fine. Thank goodness. Aaron Robinson. After missing 2 games following an emergency appendectomy, Aaron Robinson's knee got twisted up awkwardly on Sunday against the Bears. His prognosis is not nearly as optimistic as some of the others. Dable said he's probably not going to play. And he said Golladay and Robinson may miss a couple of games. I mean, it's just, it's like, as like every play goes on, and then they blow the whistle, got a man down, and another Giant hobbles off. Was there any Bears that hobbled off the field? I'm just kind of, I'm a little just scratching my head. I'm just a little curious. Was all 10 guys that got injured, was everyone a Giant? I mean, was anybody on the other team injured? I mean, simply amazing. Henry Mondeau. His was bad, but it was also a little good, okay? After being carted off on the field, okay? Looked like his season might be over. However, the good news that it's not, thankfully. The bad news is it's going to miss some time. So he's going to miss some time, but his season won't be over. Okay. Then we got Azeez Ojulari. On Sunday, Aziz re-injured his calf. With the one that he injured running a sprint in practice. Simply amazing. And we'll kind of see where he's at on Wednesday. So we'll have to wait and see how Aziz is. And then we got Kayvon Thibodeau. He had a little back spasms, but he was kind of seeing toward the end of the game. Okay. In the final moments, he had some back spasms, but apparently he said he should be okay. Then Jihad Ward. I think he's going to be fine. Veteran Jihad Ward also found himself injured in week 4. And all those specifics of his injury are unclear. Dable and company think he'll be just fine. He said Ward will be okay. I really hope somewhere along the line they can find ways to keep that guy on the team. I know it's always revolving. And if you're not a superstar or something like that, they're always seeming to looking to upgrade, bring one guy in, get rid of another guy. Unfortunately, that might be like the position Jihad Ward finds himself in, unfortunately. But I'll tell you, freaking what, I love the guy's attitude. Absolutely love the guy's attitude. He's nothing but the best for the team. I mean, as I said, is he an all-pro, all-star? No. But, is he good? Does he love to play football? Is he a good teammate? Yeah, absolutely. Is he somebody to have on the team? Absolutely. I hope we find a way to keep the guy. I mean, if not, maybe, in the upcoming years, Then, of course, we got Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson. Robinson suffered a sprained MCL in week 1 against the Titans and hadn't seen the field since. Hard to believe, I know. Tony, meanwhile, has dealt with multiple injuries. Multiple. Shocking. He had 6 of them last year. 2 bouts of COVID, and he had problems with his cleats and a partridge in the pear tree last year. But he's got his lingering hamstring issue. Although Dable said he refuses to put a timetable on either, he did note that they're improving. He's always saying that. He said they're always improving. Kadarius, Wan'Dale, we'll see where those guys are at here in the week as the week goes on. But I mean, if anything, it seems like maybe Wandale might be back, maybe before Kadarius. And we got Leonard Williams. Leonard Williams missed the previous 2 games with a sprained MCL. Dable did not offer an update on his progress. We can certainly use him in there. I mean, it just, I know injuries are part of football. Absolutely. Of course they are. Every team gets injured. Absolutely. Of course. Every team, it just, why every year are the Giants like in the top 2, 3? Every year for the past, 10, 15 years as far as injuries? I mean, why is that? I mean, nothing will derail a season faster than injuries. And every year, that's all the Giants have, injuries. Absolutely. I mean, as I said, I mean, it's just like you take the injuries the Giants have and transfer them to any other team, okay? And good luck trying to win a Super Bowl. You can't. I mean, it's just a shame because, I mean, you go through the whole, the draft and the free agency and the spring training and this and that. You go through all of that stuff and one day after the other, you just, we lost this guy. This guy's gone. He's gone. This guy's gone. Next guy up, the 15th string center. And it just absolutely amazing with the Giants every year. Unbelievable. So we got, so Daniel Jones is showing some improvement, okay? He has ankle sprain, showing some signs of improvement, okay? Now, whether he'll play on Sunday against the Packers in London remains in doubt. But Dable said, Daniel's feeling a little bit better today. We'll just see how that goes. So Dable would not answer a question about whether Jones has a high ankle sprain. He decided to provide more specifics. The initial tests on Jones's injured ankle have been positive. There is no fracture. Jones was hurt when his left foot got caught underneath safety Jaquan Brisker on a sack in the 3rd quarter of the game. Giants starting quarterback left the game but went back in after Tyrod obviously had a concussion. Dable said Monday that Taylor was in a concussion protocol and would also be monitored throughout the week. Yeah, I'd have a hard time believing that Tyrod will be there this weekend in London. Davis Webb would start Sunday against the Packers if Jones and Taylor are unable to play. Webb is currently on the practice squad. But it's kind of funny here. Well, I didn't want to say that, right? Giants are auditioning potential quarterbacks with the status of Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor still unknown. Oh, yeah. The Giants looked at a group of quarterbacks that they could potentially sign as they continue to monitor the status of Daniel Jones with a sprained left ankle and backup Tyrod Taylor. A team source confirmed reports that Jake Fromm and A.J. McCarron worked out for the team and said Brian Lewerke, was also scheduled for a workout in East Rutherford. There were no updates on Jones, who sprained his ankle in the 3rd quarter of the game, or Taylor, who left the 4th quarter with a concussion. I'm just going to take it each day and see how he is, Coach Dable said Monday, when asked what Jones needed to show the Giants in order to play Sunday. So if he can practice and go out there and perform the things we need for him to do, great. If he needs a day, he needs a day. I think it's a case by case. Yeah, I mean, there's no, you know what I mean? The severity of the ankle sprain, was it a mild ankle sprain? Is it real bad? So we'll have to wind up waiting and see. All right. But, they also said, obviously, if Jones or Taylor can't play, all right, Davis Webb, who's currently on the practice squad, will make his first career start. The former University of California quarterback has played 4 career snaps, all last year with Buffalo in a blowout game against the Jets. He's never thrown a pass. Then we got Fromm, right? Who's got that familiarity there with Shane and Dable, okay? Fromm, a 5th-round pick by Buffalo in 2020, saw his only NFL game action last year when he played in 3 games. including 2 starts for the Giants. He completed 27 of 60 passes with 210 yards, 1 interception, and 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. McCarron, a 5th-round pick by the Bengals in 2014, made 4 starts over 6 seasons with the Bengals, the Raiders, and the Texans. He completed 174 passes, okay, for 1,173 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Not bad. Lewerke, an undrafted free agent out of Michigan State, was on the Giants practice squad last season, right? And then the training camp roster this summer. He's never played in an NFL game. Should Webb have to start Sunday, the Giants will need a backup for the game against the Packers. Right. Now, as I said, Fromm, right, last year he started 2 games, played in 3. He played, I think it was against the Cowboys is when he came in his first game. The Giants were down. The Giants, he came in at the end of the game. The Giants needed a couple of scores. They had to get a touchdown. So he drove him down the field, but the Cowboys were kind of like, let him complete the passes, keep everything in front of you, make the tackle, keep the clock running, and they're just going to run the clock out. So he orchestrated a drive all the way down the field, completed a bunch of passes, looked pretty good, but, it was because the Cowboys had maybe a little soft coverage, nothing really crazy. They didn't want nothing deep. Everything in front, make the tackle, and that's what they did. So Fromm marched the Giants down the field, got down around, I forgot what it was, around the 10-yard line, somewhere around there of the Cowboys. But then, incompletion. I think once the field shrunk up and there wasn't a lot of room out there, okay, we could have kicked a field goal, but we need a lot of points. So field goal wasn't going to do us any good. So we had to go for a touchdown. It went for a 4th down, incomplete pass, and the game was pretty much over after that. But then he obviously played in the 2 starts after that. All right. So, he's 27 out of 60. He completed 45% of his passes. Now, if you take out the game he played against the Cowboys, all right, I don't remember exactly what that was here. Let's see. What? It's a decent stats against the when they played the Cowboys. Let's see here. All right, Dallas box score. Let's see if I can go to the box score. Okay, we lost 21-6. Was that what it was? Yeah, 21-6. Okay, he was 6 out of 12. Okay. Yeah, but he's 6 out of 12 for 82 yards passing. Okay, he got sacked 1 time. Okay. A completion, a 36-yard completion. All right, so he was 6 out of 12. So let's see here. All right, so that means that the 2 games he started in, he was 21 out of 48. Okay. 21 out of 48. Let me figure that out here real fast. 21. So there's 2 games he started. He completed like 44% of his passes. Okay. So he had the 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. All right. Yeah. If he's got to be our starting quarterback, we're in some trouble. Okay, we're in some trouble. Davis Webb. At least with Davis Webb, we got a shot because he's familiar with the offense and all. He looked pretty decent in preseason once again, but that was just preseason. But he was completing passes to 2nd and 3rd stringers. Now at least he'll have the starters. He'll be playing against starters, but he'll be also playing with starters as well too. So maybe they can orchestrate something. Orchestrate a quarterback-friendly game plan, heavy dose of Saquon, right? It's kind of like what the Cowboys do with Cooper Rush, right? Let's get the guy, quarterback-friendly game plan, right? That hopefully can lead us to some success. With Davis Webb, at least Davis Webb's, he knows the plays and everything. He's played in preseason and everything, so. But what they got right, the depth chart, the Giants, they got Kenny Golladay as the 1st stringer. They're going to get David Sills and Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson and Richie James, right tackle Evan Neal, Glowinski, Feliciano, Ben Bredesen, Andrew Thomas. They got Saquon, Kadarius Toney, Daniel Bellinger and Daniel Jones. I don't know. They got like from Giants.com. For some reason, they got Giants released unofficial depth chart. I don't know. I mean, why do you they got Wan'Dale Robinson, who isn't playing, Kenny Golladay, who's not playing, and Kadarius Toney, who's not playing as the starters. I don't quite understand that. Makes no sense at all to me. No sense. But so far, the Giants now here, let's say, Darian Beavers is on IR. Okay, Cordell Flott, he was out last week. He's still in a walking boot. I don't think he won't be playing either. Colin Johnson, he's on injured reserve. Shane Lemieux, he's still out. Lord knows if he'll ever come back from the toe injury. Let's see here. Nick McLeod is out. I think he might still be out. Marcus McKeithen, he's on IR. Right. Wan'Dale Robinson, he might be out again. Sterling Shepard, he's on IR. Ellison Smith, he's still on injured reserve. Kadarius Toney, he's out. Leonard Williams, he was out last week. Rodarius Williams on the IR. And we got, Aaron Robinson, right? He'll be out. Kenny Golladay will be out. I mean, it's just absolutely simply amazing. Simply amazing. But I mean, the thing is with Jake Fromm, right? Because he got Buffalo drafted Fromm in the 5th round of the 2020 draft. So Shane and Dable were there. Okay, so some familiarity. Fromm signed a 4-year, $3.771 million contract, including $302,000 signing bonus with the Bills on May 7, 2020. On August 31st, 2021, Fromm was released from the Bills and re-signed to the practice squad the next day. Right. But then on November 30th, Fromm was signed by the Giants from the Bills practice squad because if you don't, apparently they didn't protect him. And I remember bringing that up in my videos last year, talking about Fromm being the starting quarterback and Fromm, the Giants getting Fromm, and some people were making comments on my videos and all, just putting comments. That's all on the videos that Fromm, let's see Fromm in there. He sure looked good in college. He was great at Georgia, and this, that, and the other thing, and I kept saying, I mean, there's a reason why the guy's on some team's practice squad and he's not protected. Now, you can protect a couple guys. I believe you can protect a few guys. All right, so if there's a couple guys that you might want to protect, you can protect them so other teams can't just come and pluck them off. But, I mean, he was not protected. Any team can come by there and pick him off, and that's what the Giants did, okay? Now, I said the first game against the Cowboys didn't look too bad. 6 out of 12, right? Marching down the field, right? They got them in field goal range, but they needed touchdowns instead of field goals. So they went for it on 4th down, didn't wind up making it. But, I mean, he looked like a deer in headlights, once when he started the games. And, I mean, we were just in trouble last year between Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm as our backup quarterbacks last year. We were in some horrible, horrible trouble. Now, at least this year, I said, at least with Tyrod Taylor, is a much more of a seasoned veteran. I mean, Glennon certainly has some experience, that's for sure. But I'd much rather have Tyrod in there than Mike Glennon. But, I mean, of course, now Tyrod's hurt. So, I mean, now we got Davis Webb. So, I said then we got Lewerke. I mean, regardless, I mean, if you look at it either way, okay, if the Giants, if Webb has to start and he has to come out and we put somebody else in there, I mean, we're going to have to run the ball pretty much almost every play. Yeah. So it's probably going to be a pretty run-heavy game anyway because, we don't seem to have any wide receivers and we're really hurting on the quarterback situation. And the thing is, it's kind of Daniel Jones can play. I mean, you got to protect the guy. I mean, and the Packers have a decent defense. They have a decent defense. So, I mean, Daniel Jones might wind up being a statue. So, I don't know what they're going to have in store there for Daniel Jones, if they're going to try to get him in the pot and try to have him pass the ball. I mean, I don't know how deep we're going to be able to throw the ball because you need the pass protection there, obviously, to be able to have Daniel Jones stand in the pocket for a couple seconds so he can throw the ball deep. So it's going to be very, very interesting. It might wind up being another heavy dose of Saquon, heavy dose of the running game. right? The one nice thing about that, though, okay, the real one nice thing, okay, is that really helps wear down a defense. Okay, now obviously they can rotate guys in and out. The Packers can, sure, but I mean a good running game. If somehow you can get that running game going, okay, that'll really help wear down the defense, right? Now, will the Giants ever get to that point? Because you got to remember is that we're going against Aaron Rodgers. Now we're going up against good quarterback. Okay, we're going up against Lamar Jackson following week, right? And then we're obviously going up against Aaron Robinson. So now we're going up against some good quarterbacks, okay, who can throw the ball very, very well. So if for some reason the Giants get down, 3 scores, something like that, say we're down 17-0 or 21-3, just say, it's kind of hard to let's keep leaning on the run game. It's kind of tough. There might be a point where it's like, okay, we have to try to throw the ball to get in, and if you have to throw the ball and the other team knows you have to throw the ball and we have no wide receivers and we got a third string quarterback in there. Wow. Yeah. And I mean, it is what it is. All teams get injuries, and obviously, and the Giants are no different whatsoever, but it just, I don't know, just to me, it's like, what do you got to do to try to, I mean, obviously I'm not expecting the Giants to be able to, play all 53 guys every week without anybody coming down with as much as an ingrown toenail. I get that guys get injured, but I mean, it's like, how did we lose like 8, 9, 10 guys, whatever it was, for injury? And I think I saw like one Bear guy getting hurt. I mean, how is that? I mean, it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So hopefully we'll get some better news, and on the injury front. Hopefully we get some guys come back. I mean, that would be absolutely fantastic if we get some of the guys, coming back. Let's see here. Who do we got here? All right, we got to come back. We got to play the Ravens. All right. So we got to play 4 more games before we get our bye. Okay. The nice thing is that we got to play the Packers and then the Ravens. Then we got Jacksonville and Seattle. Okay. Now Seattle's okay. They're not the juggernaut that they were when Wilson was there. Okay. But and the Jaguars have been looking pretty decent. I mean, they've done a decent job so far. Okay, with Peterson, but if we can stay somewhat healthy, those are possibly winnable games. But I mean, after those 4 games, that's when we get a bye. Okay, we go in Seattle on October 30th. Okay, and then we don't come back for 14 days. Okay, we got to play the Houston Texans at home. We got 2 winnable games after the bye. We got Houston Texans, who suck. Okay, they suck. Okay, they're coming to our place. Okay, then we got the Detroit Lions, who can score some points. I'll tell you what, they're scoring some points. What's surprising me is they keep drafting like high defensive wise, and they're just giving up boatloads of points. I mean, the Eagles put up like 38 against them. I think it was the first week of the season. Seattle put up almost 50 points against them this past week. I mean, they're giving up all kinds of points. I mean, against a Dan Campbell coach team, I thought their defense, I mean, it's not that their defense isn't tough, but I mean, I thought they'd be a little tough. I mean, a little, not quite giving up as many points, especially with their draft picks being so high as well, but I mean, they give up some points. So we got the Packers and we got the Ravens, 2 very, very tough games, especially because the Giants are banged up. Okay. But then we got Jacksonville, the Seahawks, the Texans, and the Lions. We got 4 games in a row that we could possibly not win all 4, I'm not saying, but possibly win any one of those games, if not 2, if not 3. It all depends, obviously, once again, on our health. But if we can get to the 30th, okay, and get like 2 weeks off, get that bye, and come back and come home and play against the Texans and get somewhat healthy, okay, and stay somewhat healthy for the rest of the season, we could be we can be okay. But the problem is getting to that point, because I said that's 4 more games away, right? And the way things are going with the Giants and their injuries, my goodness, anything can happen. Well, guys, that's been 30 minutes. Shot my mouth off for 30 minutes. Anybody spent any time at all watching me, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And anybody watches the replay of this, as always, guys, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You guys absolutely freaking rock. And as always, guys, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.